Everybody, welcome to another edition of Falcons Corner. Voice of the Falcons, Mike Ricker, good guy to know, host, coach, Daniel Berg, and then TD Time SID on behind the camera.
Yeah.
No, just behind the camera.
Just behind the camera.
Yeah,
right
we
now.
can't have a
We're
third
down a camera.
Yes, we're down a camera. Plus, we're up here.
Yeah.
So there's no room for you.
Yeah.
All right.
It's tight quarters.
You can hang one from the
Can
flag.
we just like put like your profile picture just like in the corner, just the whole show, just your like hovering there?
Now.
Yeah, that would
the
be
biggest gym in the immediate area, and we just don't have enough room for another camera.
Exactly. Yes, it happens. It happens. So, all right. So, I don't know. I'm more unprepared than usual.
No, well, yeah, and that's fine because that's how we do things. But we know what's going on. I have to say, in my Facebook memories the other day, because they
the fly thing.
So it wasn't the fly thing.
No,
it was
your guest appearance.
I was a guest host in 2019.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey everybody, we are back on another edition of the Falcons Corner. Voice of the Falcons, Mike Ricker. Next up in the rotation of co-hosts, everyone's friend, Danny Berg. Danny, welcome to your big moments.
Finally. I've been waiting. You know, I know last year in the spring semester I had the most times on the show, but it's usually
cutting through the door,
cutting through the gym and things like that. So I've patiently waited.
Look where the patience has gotten.
Third in the rotation.
Saw that. It came up.
Who would have known that I've done so well there?
It was the first compliment I got while working here because you said you're great to work beside the legendary voice of the Falcons.
Yeah, and I was on the other side of you now. Now I'm on this side. Like
You had no idea it was a tryout,
right?
did you?
No, none whatsoever. And I think I don't know if that was the occasion or if there was another one when we were here and Mark Lewinsky came walking through and we decided to have a quick interview with him at random one time. Remember?
Yeah, I remember that too.
But yeah, I saw that it was like I was the guest host, and that's when
Good for you.
the thought of the Bird's Nest came up because they're like, if you're going to do this full time, and then COVID hit, and that was weird.
Right. Yeah.
But here we are. We're back up here.
We're back up here.
Yeah.
All right. So
Back and
congratulations.
better than ever. Yeah.
Congratulations on your co-hosting.
Like 5 years.
Yes.
Wow.
Or
Not
your
really.
special
really
appearance
year
to
3,
co-host.
but yeah.
Good. All right, so we always start with football because it's fall, so we'll start with
Sure.
football. They lost again. Another tough loss on the road, Georgia Military. They moved up to 6 or 5 in the rankings.
They're up to number 6.
Up to number 6.
We remained ranked.
We remained. We just dropped 1 to 14, so we're one of the few 2-2 teams that are. I think someone behind us was 2-2, and we're at 15.
Might be
I can't
Colin,
remember.
I think.
Yeah, but 2-2. Another tough contest on the road in the heat in Georgia.
96. So I heard, Eric had his meetings yesterday, and they were talking. You know, they had their summer, which I think I forget. I think snow was there for summer 1, and then they had no summer, and then when Lackawanna came, they had summer 2, and it was 96 degree in Atlanta, and then it was about 92 there. That's just like air temp without humidity, so the real feel was even more.
Yeah.
And there's no cover there at Davenport Field.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
nothing you can hide
when I was talking to the guys in the weight room, they were like basically saying they were like crawling underneath the bleachers, you know.
But they went down
in benches to try to.
So-
went down there and back and forth ball game. You know, we get down
got
2
up.
scores, we get up a score, and then we just
Get up a point.
ran out of possessions, and we had a couple chances there at the end, to grab the lead.
Yeah.
I was watching while I was commentating volleyball or doing public address.
So I was
volleyball,
watching
so
every once. I was cutting the grass after I left volleyball, so I was listening to it, and then I would hear something, so I'd pull my phone out of my pocket so I can watch it, and that back and forth of like halfway through the third and all the way on in, and what was it, 40 to 35?
Yeah.
40 to 35 was the final.
And I'm thinking, and you guys could talk a little bit more because it's more your thing, but we go down with, I believe, without our top receiver, and from what I understand, people talking, one of the top players in the country in Carmelo Taylor, right?
Yeah.
And still put up 35 points.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty incredible. And that was a last minute injury, like a day before.
Yeah, that was so
injury.
game plan was a little. Who knows what
Coach
happened?
Pardini and Dayton, I know they had like 9 hours of game planning, and so I think they did a great job. But I think still putting up 35 points without him really garnered that respect from the football committee, being aware that he wasn't there.
Right.
Why we only dropped 1 spot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing.
I think, it was tough sledding running the ball, but we still got 93 yards on the ground.
Yeah,
from,
Maurice popped a
Edwards.
couple.
He had a couple touchdowns, had the 39-yard touchdown run, also caught a touchdown.
Right.
Wyatt threw for 3 scores.
Yeah, he only had 2 incompletions, 2 incompletions, 1 being an interception. I'm sure he's mad about himself with.
Threw for
and then-
235 though, and
Daryl had 10.
The
10
offense
receptions.
took took small bites and just kept taking them and kept moving the ball down the field. You know, you felt a couple times like, oh man, you know, Georgia Military's up 2 scores. This thing, especially early, they went up 14-0 or 13-0 before anybody knew what happened, and the guys just never quit. And I think that's one thing you can say about our team, at least this year. Yeah, they've struggled the last 2 games, giving up 40+ points to really, really good opponents, but they go down into that environment and play the way that they did. You have to like what you see. I mean, it's just about how do you put it together to get a win.
Those 2 games are what? Snow's number 3 still. And Georgia Military went from 7 to 6. So there's the respect, not only more so for us that they beat us and then they move up 1, because of how good this football committee really feels that we are and how good we know we are.
And we're just a player 2 or a penalty away from being 4-0.
Exactly, and which is frustrating.
It's hard to hear.
Hard to hear, but
I mean, it doesn't. I mean, looking at it from this point, up here, we're just an inch away from 4-0.
And listen, the playoff might be out of the picture at this point. However, there's still an opportunity to postseason bowl. You just got to win out. You have to win out, and you have to beat Georgia Military at home at the end of the season.
And that may come down to the bowl berth right there.
Exactly. So you have to do that work. You have to get there.
We still a lot of games left.
Yes.
Still a lot of games left.
But I'll take one positive out of the heat. With some guys, especially offensive linemen, having to come out because of the heat. Coach was able to get some looks at some other guys. I know Caleb Rapp, really was impressive, and Coach was happy with him. Coach Dayton kind of gave me the comment, and if Caleb's dad is watching this, don't yell at Caleb. But Coach Dayton kind of said he's not a great practice player, but he plays much better in game. So I was glad he was able to get a shot. Get a shot in the second half. So I told Caleb, I said, I'm going to have to tell your dad that Coach Dayton said. He's like, oh, great. But he showed up and played really well in the heat and got some snaps and stuff too. So got some other guys some looks and stuff too.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
All right, so let's talk about volleyball. All right, good. So a home tri match, my favorite.
Yeah, on a Saturday morning.
10, 12, and 2, and of course. That means 10, 1, and 2:30.
And the first match was 5 sets, which is just what you were hoping
so it was beautiful, 9-hour day at the Student Union. But we won.
It always makes it easier.
Yes, a nice tight 5, TD Tom Ferg said, a 5-setter against Harcum.
Yeah.
To start off the morning, and then
let me touch on that. That was big because you don't. So we're hosting the region championships for volleyball. However, you lose that here. It's hard to play at Harcum, and I think we play there next. We don't want to split. You want to keep that number 1 seed. And I'll tell you why. Monroe College out of New Rochelle transitioned from NJCAA Division I to Division II this year, and they're playing in our region championships. And they come in as the 3 seed. They're typically good. Not that other teams aren't, but they're national tournament quality team for Division I. They have a lot of the roster back. So just making sure we stay ahead. So now we've already got one up on Morris, one up on Deltec, one up on Harcum, to hopefully keep us there. So that 5-setter, they had to dig down deep.
And then a little bit easier. Not that it was the competition, but we just played much better in that third or the second game.
I really think the first 3 sets, I don't want to, don't get me wrong, Harcum played really, really well. They had the blocks up. They were really doing a great job keeping balls alive and winning long rallies. But I think we looked a little sluggish.
We weren't sharp early, and I think even if you ask Ariana, her hitting wasn't great in that first match.
Made a couple errors.
Much better in the third match. She was dominant in that third match.
She was great in that 4th set. It's like a switch flip. We started making a lot of great plays at the net. Ariana really got going. Jana looked a lot more confident, I thought. Alasia got a couple big kills. Nadia Toth was really good against Harcum, really kind of kept our heads above water.
They found gaps.
They started to find those positions, and it frustrated Harcum a little bit. And we were able to get on a run, win big in the 4th set, and then rode that momentum to the 5-set win.
And then the 5th set, it was just all Lackawanna.
It was tight early, but they just pulled away.
But they found those gaps, and I said that Nadia Toth, really impressed me. I was like, where's this been? You know what I mean? It was great, especially I think she kept us in those first 3 sets when other ones weren't. You know what I mean?
And she and Angie really stepped up when Nerdia went down with an injury. We needed a middle blocker, and they couldn't completely replace that, but I thought they really did a good job kind of filling that gap.
And I know Coach Reese was, I don't want to say worried, but was working with Angie more on her defense and wanted her there. And I think she played defensively. She was really sharp coming up for Nerdy and stuff too. So
and then as you mentioned, they just kind of kept that momentum rolling into the afternoon session with Harrisburg.
Which is great.
And they had a really good 5-set loss to Cairn on Thursday.
Right.
That I was worried at first was the reason they looked tired on Saturday. But in a lot of ways, too, that might have helped them mentally to know that they're always in it.
Right.
They can come back. They were down 2-0.
Ferg, I wasn't worried about them physically in Cairn because I'm the strength coach.
That's true.
I knew they had it in them to go through 5 and be solid.
That's my fault.
Yes, that's
They
okay.
weren't tired. They knew what they were doing.
Our non-professional strength and conditioning eye.
But mentally, I think that match also helped them, even though they lost it.
Right.
They played well in 5 sets. They were down 2-0 on the road at an NCAA school.
Sure.
Yep.
Kind of forced them to use a lot more of their rotation players later in the match, and made it
Prepares
close.
them for the ones that matter.
And I always say
That's why she
too,
wanted
like,
to do that,
come to a
you know?
conditioning. There's no better conditioning than actual playing and practicing. So the fact that
That's
they
the
were able
best
to get a
thing
5
they
set
could
up there,
do.
especially instead of a school, is just going to help them in the future. So soccer, volleyball's off until this week, and they get to do a tri match on the road. Good for them. I'm very happy. That is fantastic.
They
news.
do,
Yes.
and it's funny because originally we were scheduled to be the 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock game, and back when they were working out some schedules and added Middlesex to it, Coach Reese was like, "I want the 11 o'clock," and I'm like, "So you just want it early all the time?" So they were gracious enough to give it to us. We were technically Middlesex was the further school by like less than 10 miles, and that's how it works.
Right.
Whoever travels the furthest, or I'm sorry, we were actually further than by a few miles.
Whoever travels the
furthest get this way. They don't have to be they're super early and things like that. But oh my goodness, like I want it. I'm like, sure.
And
works
it's
for
a
me.
big one too, because Lehigh Carbon is 7-1 overall.
Right.
Probably going to be 8-1 at that point.
Right.
Only 1 loss in EPAC, and has played some teams pretty tough.
Yeah.
So it's going to be another challenge.
EPAC championship.
And if there's any streaming of that, you're going to post that.
Yeah, Lehigh. They usually do on their YouTube channel, but
Cool.
I'll make sure to post that with our game
Right.
day post.
Good.
But
And
a much needed break.
Yeah.
And then soccer was off. No matches for soccer since our last episode, right?
men,
We had
correct.
cancellation for men
Yep.
and the women.
Couple schedule
But
changes.
we do have a athlete of the week. Is Lindsey our athlete of the week?
Lindsey Tasker is our athlete of the week.
Athlete of the
for
week.
women's
You do
soccer.
not have to ask her the magic question if she took off her goalie gloves to kick, if you and talk to her to kick her penalty, her PK, because she did not take them off, and I was very happy to hear
gonna
that.
say, there's
She
no
came
way.
in because she watched the episode. She came into the softball lift on Thursday and said, "I left them on." I was like, "That's awesome." So
Right.
awesome that she watches the show too.
Yeah.
But hopefully you get a chance to talk to her, because then she can watch herself be interviewed by you.
I know, that's my hope. I need to track her down.
But
yes.
I'm happy for Lindsey. They are lifting today.
What time are they lifting
They
today?
lift at 3
Don't ask me.
o'clock.
No one's scheduled.
3 o'clock, yes, in the McKinney Performance Center.
All right.
But I'm happy for Lindsey because she is a local athlete from Abington
Yeah.
Heights. We talked a little bit about that last week, but also is a 2-sport athlete. And as you know, our softball team is basically in season in the fall with the amount of
And she
practices, lifts. And she played this past weekend, was on the road traveling, makes all the lifts for softball and getting to
Doesn't miss
getting to
anything.
soccer, doesn't miss anything.
It's
So
like the
good for
epitome
her.
of a student athlete where
Yeah.
she really, I don't know that she's missed either for any of them. And like you said, this past weekend, they were on the road at Bloomsburg on Saturday, and then they were also at, I think, Mansfield on Sunday. So,
Yep.
But then, of course, I think we might have talked about it last week, but obviously scored the goal against Sussex to tie the game on a PK,
Right.
and had a bunch of big saves down the stretch to help them preserve that win.
Yep.
right,
So,
yeah. And
good.
that was, last Tuesday?
Yeah, last Tuesday.
So,
And you're back on it tomorrow, which is going to be results from your tomorrow's game, which is Wednesday, because this is Tuesday and the show airs on Thursday. The results are boom here.
Right there.
Good luck to you.
thanks, we need it.
Good W. Proud of you.
Let's go for the first
Proud of you.
W.
Yes.
And then we're off again.
All right, good. And then you're off again. So we'll recap that next week.
So we play tomorrow against Penn State Scranton, and then we're back at it for what turns out to be like a gauntlet of matches
that's good.
through October. But that is actually kind of works out because we were able to kind of build up and really kind of see what we need to do
Right,
since
right.
we were a late addition to the games
Yes.
this year.
All right.
So
Awesome. All right. Well,
All
good
right.
luck today.
Thanks.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Good luck yesterday.
Yeah, we're going to put all the weight of this game on Coach Kira Ryan's shoulders, so we'll see
right.
as far as she could take
What's
us
the game
as far
plan?
as we
Okay.
go.
All right, good. Awesome. All right. So if we're talking to Lindsey, it's going to happen after these commercials that are from last year still
And still the year before.
and the year before. All right, good. All right. We'll be back in the Falcons Corner to take flight.
Hey, it's Tom Ferguson, the Sports Information Director with Lackawanna College, and we're catching up with our Lackawanna College Athlete of the Week, Lindsey Tasker of two sports here at Lackawanna College. You guys are working out right now in softball, but playing soccer in the fall. Keeping yourself busy, right?
Yes, very busy.
Doing what you can, but also doing that on the soccer field. Let's talk about that last week. One Athlete of the Week, kicking a penalty kick to give you guys a tie there at that point, eventually come away with the win, doing your thing in goal as well. 3 goals already so far this year, and you've had 2 penalty kicks too. I mean, what does that feel like, having that responsibility as kind of being the one that Coach Bederka trusts to step up and take that shot?
It's definitely very reassuring that he is confident in my shot there.
Sure.
So, and I think it's more just because Melanie was the one that got both of the penalty kicks.
Right.
So, and she never goes down. And seeing her get down or go down was really hard to see, and so I really wanted to make sure I got that in for her.
Really wanted to make sure you earned it, right?
Right.
And plus, of course, you had to run all that way. You have to, make
course.
it, right? But you made that. Mel scores a goal a couple minutes later against Sussex. You guys take the lead after being down, and then obviously hold on for the victory. How much of a boost was that for you guys to be in a game like that? Because you had been in a game where you got blown out. You were in a game where you did the blowing out, and then you're in a tight game like that and come away with a win. I mean, what kind of a boost was that for you guys?
It was great. It was the pressure was it wasn't as high anymore, and we just had to sit back and make sure that they were not going to score.
Yeah.
And we did just that, so it was good.
You had to come up with a couple saves towards the end there. Certainly they were getting a lot of pressure, but I mean, what about the confidence in your defense and the confidence in the people in front of you to kind of keep that pressure off you as best they could those last couple minutes?
Yeah, it was good. I was very confident in them that they were get through the last 10 minutes or so and just secure the win.
Now, goalkeeper is still a new position for you, correct?
Right.
Because at Abington Heights, where you went to school, you guys made the state championship game, but you were in goal last year for the first time for them, right?
Yes.
So normally you're playing out in the midfield. I mean, the situation being what it was, you had to step into that role. I mean, do you feel like you're getting more comfortable with it and more confident in yourself there?
Yes and no. I like it because I don't have to run as much. But I definitely feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
But it's just a hard position to play. It's just hard knowing where to be, position-wise in the goal. But
Sure.
I've definitely gotten a lot more confident.
Do you feel like you're seeing the field differently, too, from that position as opposed to, because you were a midfielder and regularly, so do you feel like you see the field differently from back there?
A lot more, yeah. It's cool to see it all happen right in front of you instead of I played center mid sometimes my junior year at Abington, and that was really hard to be in the middle of everything.
Right. So now you're kind of getting a more commanding view, and you can even maybe tell your teammates, hey, look out for this, they're trying this, and things like that, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay, so you're here at Lackawanna College. Professional studies is what you're trying to do, right? So what do you want to do with a professional studies degree?
I'm not really sure yet. I hope to come here and go in undecided and hopefully work things out and figure out what I want to do.
So. Is there any sort of inkling of what eventually you'd like to do? Not even just academically, what field you want to get into, or a business or something like that, or
maybe something like psychology or sociology.
Right.
Especially last year, I had so many friends as freshmen, and I got to be a role model for them. So I like teaching younger girls.
Okay.
Maybe, or even going to coaching, so I can work with girls who were in my place years ago.
Right, yeah. So in a mentor kind of phase, right? Playing 2 sports this year, so you managed to fit in a soccer game last week, and then we're on the road with softball as well. So obviously, Coach, you've had interactions with Coach Pitt and everything. I mean, is the fall season, does it feel like it's going to be as intense as the spring season, or? Oh
gosh, it's already so intense right now.
Right.
I think I've only missed maybe 2 softball practices and 2 soccer practices, and you should see my calendar. It's a lot. It's a lot right now.
How do you feel like you're adjusting to your first time in college? Trying to balance that and getting used to getting the schedule together?
I like it. I like having different classes every day, and I think it helps me space out my schoolwork and softball and soccer. So I like it. I really like
and
it.
you have obviously the freedom to kind of make your schedule and make those decisions and all that. And like you said, you're not taking the same classes every day like you would in high school, right?
Right.
Where are you from originally?
Well, Abington Heights.
Right, but what's your hometown?
Oh, Clark Summit.
Clark Summit.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Abington, you played soccer and softball there too?
Yes.
Did you play another sport in the winter or no?
It's just softball and soccer.
Not enough time.
Yeah, not enough time.
Running low on time. Well, when you do have time, what is it you like to do in your free time? When you're not worried about softball or soccer, you did your schoolwork and all that, how do you unwind? What do you do in your free time?
I love to hang out with friends, and I love video games.
Okay, all right, yeah, we're done with that, yeah.
I love video games.
Okay.
Or I love just hanging out with my mom. She's my best friend.
What video games are you playing?
Rainbow Six.
Okay, all right, yeah. We have a team of Rainbow Six
I know,
players
I
here in the
wanted
esports
to
squad.
join, but that I feel like I'd be
Was it too intense?
No,
Are you
with
any
everything.
good at it?
I'm okay.
Okay.
But I don't think good enough to play. But also having so much like softball and soccer, like I don't think I would have any time. So
do you play Rainbow Six with your mother?
No.
Okay, all right. I wasn't sure. I know you said best friends. I was just making sure. Okay. But you just like hanging out with her too? Mm-hmm. Who wouldn't?
Yeah.
Who doesn't, What are you looking forward to here in the fall, especially as you guys kind of get a little into the meat of the schedule in terms of women's soccer? Big matchup coming with Mercer on Saturday. Like, what are you looking forward to? What do you expect? What are your expectations?
So that's going to be a tough game. Mm-hmm. I just want to be able to hold them and maybe walk out with like hopefully a win. That would be great.
Of course, yeah.
But
naturally.
I don't want to get crushed like 11-0 the first game. So maybe make it 3-0, maybe 3-2.
Right.
Whatever. Just
make sure
it's not a blowout.
Well, seems like you guys have already come a long way, even from the beginning, the practices and all that, into now 3 games into the season. What's the biggest area of improvement you think you've seen from you and your teammates?
I think just aggressive or having aggression. Like I felt like our first game we were not aggressive enough, and like they just went right past us. But I think now we got Lainey, the back line. That's a huge help in the back because we were okay. But now she's very smart with the game. She knows how to play. She knows what to do. And even Chloe Safersky.
Yep.
It's her first time playing soccer, and like. You wouldn't tell it's her first time playing.
She is athletic,
right.
And she knows knows enough to pick up where she's supposed to be, right? And then how helpful is it to have someone like Mel up front who's got that blazing speed and who's got that ability to finish in goal?
Yeah, she's amazing. Yeah.
It helps because you guys can hoof the ball down the field in the worst situation, and she can pick it up and make something happen. And if she goes down, guess who's stepping up to get to the PK, right? Well, Lindsey, we appreciate your time. I know you're busy. I'll let you get back to lifting and all that. What are you guys doing today?
I actually didn't get to look at the board, but it's always a.
I thought I heard cleans. I heard power cleans or something like that. So
yeah,
you'll do fine. Lindsey, we appreciate your time. Good luck the rest of the way. We hope to talk to you and your teammates a little more, and let's get a couple more W's.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
you.
Lindsey Tasker here, our athlete of the week on Falcons Corner. Take flight.
We are back in the Falcons Corner. Voice of the Falcons, Mike Rickard. Good guy to know. Coach Berg.
We're here.
Co-host.
Yeah.
Former special guest host years ago.
I'm a co-host first, then a coach second.
All right.
That's that new life.
All right. TD Thomas ID. Just behind the camera.
Yeah.
All right, good. Thank you for not supporting me last week in my math equation. I appreciate
How'd that work
help.
out?
It's not working out. I don't like to be wrong, even though I'm right. You're all wrong, I'm right.
Did the hole get bigger?
I'm
I
right.
didn't want that to happen.
Everyone else is wrong. That's the way it's always going to be.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about what's all right without jinxing things. How about those New York Metropolitans?
Listen, why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this?
Because it's exciting. I haven't been excited in September in like years.
Well, listen, then you're late to the show because I've been excited since June.
Yeah, but you weren't excited in September. I haven't been excited in September.
I've been excited since June, but I don't want to talk about it.
Right,
it's got big stuff going
Just
on.
the names.
I did get a message from my firstborn that there's a possibility of yesterday's game will be a doubleheader because of a potential hurricane coming through Georgia. So that is a good and a bad thing. I don't want to get into the whole
Excuses
Mets thing.
for the Braves,
but
though.
I'd rather play the doubleheader so you don't have to face Chris Sale twice in a makeup game Monday at the
Somewhere
end of the
else.
season that could determine the playoffs. However, I work during the day, and it's going to be tough to weight room and watch the Mets at the same time. But I'll manage. I'll figure it out. Oh, plus the Polar Bear has a golf match, so I'm going to be all over the place. So we can't have a doubleheader tomorrow, even for my own selfish reasons. See what you started?
It's a lot to take in.
He is all fired up already.
But speaking, usually like my sports teams are awful.
Right, but not right now.
The Jets Thursday night finally beat the Patriots, even though the
Yeah.
Patriots are down. Colorado,
They won a game.
Hail Mary at the buzzer
what a
to tie it
finish.
up, and they actually go to overtime and win.
Right.
And then the Mets.
Yeah.
I'm Twilight.
Yeah, well, I'm just Mets.
Twilight
Well,
zone
the
for me.
Giants finally won a game because we have the best quarterback in the history
Yeah.
of the NFL. So.
Yes. And then speaking of the firstborn, I'm very excited. I am driving to Easton, Massachusetts Saturday morning
Yeah, I was
for
gonna
his
ask.
first Division I fall baseball game.
Yeah, how
So
exciting
I'm
is
excited
that?
to see him. He's driving me out of my mind. He does not
'cause you
stop
talk-
calling me.
it's 'cause you
and
talk
texting
more
me
now
all
than
the time.
ever.
I have to rush him off the phone. I have to
When
rush
has that
him
ever
off.
happened?
Never.
Wait till you get up
I
there
love
and
it.
he looks at you and
he's
he's like,
gonna
"Can
ignore
you
me.
leave?"
Yeah, he'll like give
Yeah,
me.
I gotcha. We know.
Get away from me! I hate you. But that's okay.
Throw a hand
And then a
finger
shout out to the
gesture.
Polar Bear. He shot 3 over par in the pre-district qualifying. He's back at for a chance for a state tournament berth next Monday.
Next week, right?
You know,
Yeah.
so if he could improve maybe one shot here or there, he has a chance to play for to golf for a state championship. So
Yeah,
I'm excited.
That's at Elkview, right?
That'll be
and
at
that's
Elkview
good because
Country
that's where
Club, yeah.
pre-districts was too. So
Right.
at least he's got an
so
opportunity,
that's
which is
his,
great.
That's his favorite course.
That's awesome.
So
Cool.
best of luck to him. Our Falcons are at Sussex, because I don't think we mentioned that when we talked about the Georgia military game. Do they stream, Ferg?
Yes, on their YouTube. There's a YouTube channel, and I think it's Sussex's Athletics YouTube channel.
Okay.
They
Yeah, the
stream.
Skylanders.
So that'll be posted on all our stuff on Twitter, X,
Yeah.
Instagram, Facebook,
Yeah, they have
all the other stuff.
Region
They
19
have
Bowl.
that. Region 19 Bowl.
Yes.
So we got that, and then women's soccer is back at it on
Saturday at home also.
At home against Mercer County Community
And
College.
that'll be on LackawannaFalcons.com/live.
Yeah, big game. First region game.
Top 2 teams in the region.
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, I think they got their work cut out for them.
Yeah.
I think, but they've been playing well, so you never know.
Right.
I did see some of Mercer's game against Essex last week because I was looking to scout the men's game.
Okay.
And clicked on the women's game.
So you got
And I had my times mixed up. And, I think at the time I saw it, they were up 5-0. The final score was 9-0. They've been a little bit more battle tested. They have a lot more games under their belt so
Right.
far this season. Harcum, they drew 1-1 with. and,
Yeah.
the girls are playing good, and if Tasker keeps them out of the net
Yeah.
and scores some more, you never know what could happen. But they're at home at noon on Saturday, so you can catch some of that and then
Right.
catch some of the football game after the fact.
I'll be
right?
watching football, soccer, and baseball at the same time.
Yeah,
All right.
busy.
Great job.
Thanks.
Best of luck. Good
Yeah,
luck tomorrow.
best of luck to everybody.
All right.
Yeah,
Have a great week, Falcons. LackawannaFalcons.com/live, LackawannaFalcons.com, the website, all the other stuff.
Yeah.
All right,
Just
let's-
go to our website. Check it all out.
Just go to the website.
Send Ferg an email.
Everything's there.
What's your email,
Yeah,
Ferg?
Ferguson T
Ferguson T.
at
Lackawanna.edu.
Lackawanna.edu. And if you can't get him, Pardini J at Lackawanna.
That's my boss. No, that's not his email. Don't you trouble my boss.
Way to stick up for him.
Don't darken his doorstep.
We'll see you next week in the Falcons Corner. Take flight.